A number of years ago, I was working with a private asset management firm in New York, and they decided they wanted to work with the women's market, and they wanted high net worth women. And we decided to do some research, and it was qualitative research. We decided we wanted to do interviews with women who had investable assets of at least $1 million. And the only way to get women like that to talk with you is you have to network your way in. You can't pay them for it. You can't get them all, the only way to do it is on a friend basis, the girlfriend network. So I didn't really have that many friends. I didn't have 30 of them of my own. And I went to the person I knew who was the highest in the business community. And it was my dear brother-in-law, Joe. And he was a former managing partner in New York of a major national law firm. And at the time, he was the CEO and publisher of the largest magazine in the US. And he had some of the top women in publishing that worked for him. And I said, Joe, I need to network out and find women who have more than $1 million in investable assets. He always prides himself on being able to connect people. And he said to me, oh, Marty, I don't think there are any. I said, Joe, are you kidding me? And he said, no, I don't think there are any. And I said, well, do you know anybody else who might know? And he said, well, you can talk to my friend, Patty. And I said, well, let me talk to your friend. And I called up Patty, whom I'd never met or never spoken to before. And I said, Patty, Joe said you might be able to help me, except he says he's not sure. You know, my private asset management client is pretty sure there are a lot of women out there with investable assets over $1 million, but my brother-in-law isn't that sure at all. And she said, oh my God, that's just Joe. Of course, there's plenty of them. Now, she had been very high up in the marketing department of GE Finances, I think. So within days, she had connected me to probably 10 of them, and then they connected me to more. And, very quickly, we found 30 women a number of years ago who had investable assets. And then we had the idea of if we, really want to make face-to-face connections with these women, what we should do is we should get them all together. Because I did do the research with them, and I got on the phone for about an hour with each of them. They were all very generous with their time. And we, they shared their opinions about money, et cetera. And so we decided we wanted to make face-to-face connections, and they wanted to enable their financial advisors to meet these women because they thought there was a huge opportunity for them. And they said, let's do some events. We're going to pick 5 cities, and we're going to invite all the top women in these 5 cities, the CEOs, the SVPs, the EVPs, the business community, the medical community, the law community, et cetera. And the men said, you know what, you're not going to get them all to come into an event like that. But what they didn't know is that top women, they're too busy. I can't even get a half an hour of their time. These women, we got 300 women at each of the events in these 5 cities. We had good speakers, and they all came, and the reason was, the insight was, that top women, when they go to industry conferences, like everybody does, they were always besieged by people who wanted to meet them and network with them. But they had very little time and opportunity to network with other women of their own standing, if you would. So we got 300 in every city, which was kind of amazing. And then, of course, they hand out the smile sheet afterwards. What'd you think of the event? Would you come again, et cetera. The financial advisors had women attendees coming up to them going, oh, this is so great. If you ever have another one, you make sure I'm on the list, okay? I definitely want to come again. And on the smile sheets, where it said, would you like us to contact you and send you more material or send you some materials about our company's offerings? 30% of those women said yes. Now, in my experience, and I've done a lot of research in a lot of different categories and industries, 30% is unheard of. All right, if somebody would get 5% saying, yeah, sure, give me a call, send me some stuff, that's a big number. So that's how these women were hungry. You sincerely got the impression these women were hungry for a way to connect with each other, and the fact that my client was facilitating that for them, they very much appreciated it, and they wanted to stay connected with my client for that reason.